Well, Thor, a bit of upsetting news tonight with JW actually not being able to make the journey from the hotel to the arena. Bad bout of gastro, very sick we hear. So you're going to have to be without JW in your corner tonight. But of course, you've been away and fought without JW when he's had his commitments, and you've had yours recently, taking out that big 8-man in Hong Kong, hitting your straps just at the right time, yeah?
Yeah, it's definitely a shame Wayne can't be here tonight because he's always great to have in the corner. He's my trainer and he's awesome, but I've got Flip here, so it'll be alright. I fought with Wayne not in my corner before, so yeah, should be alright. All will go well.
Okay, well, let's talk a little bit about your opponent. Of course, Kaota, the New Zealander from Aaron Boyes' gym, and you know when they come from Aaron Boyes' gym, they're tough as nails. But he's predominantly a cage fighter, MMA fighter, stand-up fighter. This obviously a stand-up fight. This one. So, any strategy for this big fella?
I think he's going to be a bit wild with his punches and kicks because he's MMA fighter, so I'm just going to keep a really tight guard and check him out the first round or two and then go to work on him.
Well, mate, we wish you all the best. Australia versus New Zealand in the big main event. It's MMA versus Muay Thai. It's going to be interesting. All the best, Thor.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for watching.
It is main event time here at the Etzer Park Stadium, sold out in Adelaide as the big Kiwi Kaota Puna makes his way to centre ring for the Polynesian strains. The Trans-Tasman battle yet again, Australia versus New Zealand. And can Puna be the man who stops the rampaging waves of the God of Thunder, Thor Hoopman? Trained by JW John Wayne Parr out of the Boon Chu Gym from Queensland. We're Flip Street in his corner here tonight. The God of Thunder, Thor Hoopman, over the top ropes, and we are ready for our main event. Heavyweight contest, 100 kilos plus, 5x3, full Thai rules, knees, elbows, all the good stuff. Third man in centre ring, referee Bernie Kerr with the final instructions. Our judges ringside, Josh Grates, Craig Geary and Dave Hussey. The voice, Michael Chavello, and the hammer, Mark Castanini with your ringside. Brought to you by Ethan Shep, Shepster Promotions, Nisa Fury number 24.
And of course, Vengeance Fightwear, major promoter of, or major sponsor of tonight's event. Let's not forget our lovely timekeepers, Christy and Tanya. Thanks for keeping a close watch on the clock.
First round, Thor Hoopman in the black, Kaota Puna in the black and silver. Two very small heavyweights in centre ring. Both, though, capable of packing a lot of power as a Superman punch attempted there. And a switch-up round kick from Kaota Puna.
Well, Puna, of course, in New Zealand is an MMA fighter predominantly. He'll fight under any rules, really. The tough Kiwi. And Hoopman, strict Muay Thai stylist. So you can expect to see, from what we've been told, some very unorthodox moves from Kaota Puna. And don't forget, folks, if you're followers of MMA, Fuel TV is the place to be with The Ultimate Fighter every Sunday night, and Blitz MMA series 9:30 every Sunday night. Events from all around the globe if you're into your cage fighting.
Double round kick off the rear leg from Thor Hoopman. You will see Kaota Puna switch between orthodox and southpaw. He's back in orthodox, his preferred stance at the moment, momentarily switching to southpaw earlier on.
Well, certainly Kaota, with a lot less experience than Thor, 10 fights, 8 wins, as opposed to Hoopman, 20 fights, 16 wins, and some big wins indeed, over in Hong Kong and the like. So he's not going to want to disrupt his current progress, Hoopman, against the lesser experienced Kiwi. Bro.
This is not an episode of Summer High Tide, Emma. Ooh, nice jab outside thigh kick from Hoopman.
JW, as was mentioned in Thor's brief interview, unable to make the journey from the hotel to the stadium. He was all packed, bags ready to go, fighters at the door, and the porcelain was calling JW. So very severe bout of gastro. So JW, as this fight's happening, back at the hotel, becoming very, very close to the plush, clean white porcelain.
That's enough, Emma. I think we got the picture.
The tiles is very cool.
A lot of sting about this one here so far, given that it is our main event, and both men seem very tentative as Thor just feeling up the thighs. That's hard to say. Say that quickly 5 times, Emma.
Oh, look at that. Perfectly
Thor
timed.
feeling out the thighs of Kaota Puna, and Puna yet to open up with any real heavy artillery. End of the first round, we go to the towels. 4 more rounds to go between Hoopman and Puna.
Well, just Hoopman looking very composed, not doing anything silly. Puna trying to do the flashy stuff, bringing in the spinning kicks, switching down low, looking to create an opening, and showing a lot of guts, the Kiwi.
Trying to do a bit of a Peter Graham Rolling Thunder. Big hello to Pete Graham too. Got married recently, Hammer.
Did it really, Petey?
Did Pete. And he's been doing some mixed martial arts. Actually, if my information is correct, Big Pete should be fighting very soon in Japan on a Sengoku card.
Well, Petey, you've had some big fights in your life, but marriage, well, there you go. That's the main event, son. That's the main event.
You give me nothing to look forward to, Hammer. Here we go, second round.
Quickest way of transferring money, get married.
Big hello to Tracy. Inside thigh kick from Thor.
Stalking forward, Thor. Just a nice tight guard. And, talking to Thor earlier, he's really got the best of both worlds down at Boonchu on the Gold Coast, because he spars the likes of Flip Street, who of course is in the mid-60s sort of weight range, and has very quick skills. And of course then he matches it up with JW, who of course out of fight time is probably around about 80 odd kilos, and very experienced and powerful. So Thor down at Boonchu, of course, also sparring with Daniel and the likes, some of the boys down there. There's a good array of sparring, and JW just telling me recently, they can spar without shin guards on, without guards on down there. Such is the great control that the fighters exhibit. They really work in well and push each other along. So it sort of contradicts, some gyms mentality where you've got to get in, you've got to batter each other absolutely every session. It's very much the Thai philosophy where you go to the gym, you're working with your partners, you control your technique, you control your skills, you control your balance, and you let it all go in centre ring. That is very much the Thai theory. So Boonchu certainly doing that well, and Thor a good example of that as he drills the knees into the body of Kaota.
Thor Hoopman now turning up the aggressor meter. He threw 4 elbows in this flurry and drilled the knees into the upper left rib cage of Puna. Hoopman looks like he may have a little bit of new ink on him, and speaking of Fighters Inc., part 2 of that great feature story by Kathy Purcell in International Kickboxing magazine. Another 4 fighters will reveal the secrets behind their tattoos. Catch up with the Badato family on the front cover, International Kickboxing magazine.
That will be out mid-April, I believe.
Mid-April.
So
My birthday.
happy birthday to you for mid-April.
Birthday's on Good Friday this year. How harsh is that?
Is it really? No meat pies this year then, I take it. No party pies.
Fish for my birthday. Ooh, crossing elbow from Thor.
Fish for your birthday. Lucky man.
Knees to the midsection. Kaota Puna not looking as confident in the grapple. He has got some beautiful kicks on him.
That's certainly not where he's comfortable.
I was about to say, Hammer, Thor's maybe figuring that out now, that Kaota may have an advantage at a distance, and Thor needs to close the gap and has the advantage on the inside.
Shutting him down. Very unusual, though, for an MMA fighter not to be comfortable in the clinch or the grapple.
Ooh, spinning hook kick.
I tell you what, recently had Brian Ebersol a great cage fighter down at Hammer's Gym doing a session down there, special training session. And Jizzy showed us some good stand-up clinching as well, and good execution for takedowns. So usually MMA fighters, especially the way the trend is going, are getting just as proficient in the stand-up clinching as they are in the ground fighting.
Thor Hoopman certainly stamping his authority in that round with the elbows and the knees in the grapple.
Beautiful work. Pride Models. That's what it says, isn't it? The catchment area.com.au.
Beautiful Fogarty brothers helping out in the corner there too, Hammer.
The Cleo Bachelors of the Year of the Muay Thai world, the Fogarty brothers.
The bushwhackers of Aussie Muay Thai. Here we go, third round of 5. Big letter Robin Ritchie, great guys. And don't forget, Detonation on April 18 with the world's finest Muay Thai exponent, Sanchai Saw Kingstar, listed in the International Kickboxer magazine, top 25 fighters on the planet. He will fight main event, April 18, Detonation.
Whereabouts is that? Actually on the sunny coast, beautiful sunny coast.
That would be at the event centre in Caloundra.
That's what you have an event. But at the event centre.
It's original naming right there, Hammer. Kick up the clacker almost.
At the back of the thigh.
That's what Wayne Park will do with it at the moment. Kick up the clacker.
JW.
Jab 2 from Thor. Cracks into the liver section. Nicely done from the God of Thunder. Outside thigh kick. Thor returns the favour.
JW rumoured to be fighting Mike Zambides sometime in May in Melbourne, potentially.
Big rumour.
It's waiting for the contracts to be signed off, apparently. But we know Mike Zambides is a little bit of a cagey little Greek fella.
He's a little shifty one, Hammer.
So hopefully that will be signed, sealed and delivered in the near future. So have a look out for that one also on sportsblitz.net. And if you're not a member of Sports Blitz, get on there because you can win a night for yourself and all your mates, gold class style, once you register.
Was that, Hammer? My birthday present from you. High left round kick.
I'll have a talk to Johnny Jess and all the boys at Village Roadshow. See if we can tee it up perhaps.
I need to watch my romantic comedies.
Okay, I'm not there.
High left round kick again from Kaota Puna. Gotta say, Hammer, not the barn burner I was hoping for our main event here.
Well,
Very slow, very plodding heavyweight. Nice technique.
Slow burner.
Slow burner.
Doesn't have the wild swinging from the rafters type fighting that we usually see from the heavyweights. Now, perhaps Thor, with the disruption, his trainer being sick, JW not being able to be at the arena, a little bit of, they left the Moncom back at the hotel because JW was going to bring that down with him, but it didn't eventually get here. So, all of these things may be playing a little bit on Thor's mind.
Hammer, I remember you telling me a story from your fighting days when one time you rocked up to a fight and your trainer didn't turn up. So how did that mentally affect you going into the fight?
Oh, it was massive. It was a massive upheaval, more to the point that was expected to have the trainer there, one of my early trainers, and he got called away unexpectedly. It was basically with one of the seconds only in my corner, and battled along, and hence is where I met Bryce Birtwhistle, who was ringside and opted to jump in the corner and help me out. So that is where our relationship started. But it was a big factor, and it really throws you into a different headspace when in your mind you're thinking your trainer's going to be there, he's going to be coming up with my game plan in the tough fight, telling me what to do, what not to do, and all of a sudden on the way to the arena, well, through no fault of anybody's really, JW got sick, so Thor maybe is in a little bit of his mental focus was lost, although you wouldn't know it speaking to him before. He seemed absolutely fine with it and happy to have Flipper in his corner. But maybe a bit of an advantage from Kaota, because no doubt if JW was in the corner, I'd say that Thor may be fighting the next gear up.
Also, Hammer, JW, the most recognisable face internationally of Muay Thai. Kaota Puna would know who he is. Do you think it's intimidating for opponents of Thor to look across the ring and see the legendary JW in the corner of your opponent?
Oh, definitely. Definitely, as a fighter, if you look across the ring and you've got your opponent in the ring, and then in their corner you've got someone who you probably well respect and they've well seen them, take care of business in centre ring and have a great fighting mind, you'll know not to make a mistake because it'll be well capitalised on. But everyone has a chance, and you've got to back yourself and back your resolve in the centre ring. Doesn't matter who's in the corner. You're against the opponent, you're against the fighter, and you're only in there for the war against them. The trainer can't fight the fight for you at the end of the day.
Comments from the former Australian Cruiserweight Muay Thai champion, the Hammer, Mark Castanini, Michael Chavello with your ringside as Thor Hoopman once again locks onto the grapple. Look at the uppercuts in the grapple there. I like that from Kaota Puna.
And if you've not seen a lot of Muay Thai, we hope you enjoyed all the action that you've seen tonight on Fox Sports. There will be a lot more Muay Thai coming your way on Fox Sports, your sport leader. So keep an eye out on the tally guides, or pick up an issue of International Kickboxing magazine, which has the tally guide in it.
And if you're wondering just where everyone stands also in the pecking order of Australian Muay Thai, the only ratings to go by are the International Kickboxing magazine ratings, the equivalent to the Ring magazine, I guess you could say, in boxing. The IK ratings as the most respected kickboxing and Muay Thai publication in the Western world. The rankings are kept up to date. Thor Hoopman is in there, very close to the top.
Well, potentially a fight now that Paul Slawinski's back in Australia. Could be Paul Slawinski and Hoopman. Very good battle, I think. But
I think Hoopman needs maybe another year's at least experience having to take on the big stud.
It is shown, Hoopman's shown that he shows no respect to any fight. He'll get in against anyone, as he did against McKinnon's. He got in and warred with Stu McKinnon, and he won't take a backward step. Recently beat Andrew Peck, didn't he?
I agree with you, but in Paul Slawinski, you're talking about a K1 quality fighter.
Oh, you certainly are.
And there's a marked difference between a Thor Hoopman, who is a fantastic up-and-comer, who is now set himself on the international stage with his victory as a Planet Battle. But against someone like Paul Slawinski at this stage of his career, I wouldn't say it's a good idea, because Slawinski is on another level, being a K1 fighter.
And the thunderous kicks of Slawinski and the improved hands now make him a real force, and we look forward to seeing and calling the Sting back in action.
Inside thigh kick from Thor Hoopman. Thrust the jab. Gets airborne on the knee, just cracking. 3, 4, 5, one more. 6, 7, go for 10. 8, 9, 10, 10, 10, 10. There it is. 11. Go for 24. 13.
Oh, boy.
14. Henry's going for 20. 15. 16. 17. 3 more. 18.
He's taking the
19.
He's taking the neometer right off the Richter.
20 knees.
Oh, tell you what, how sore is the left-hand side of Kaota Puna's body going to be tomorrow?
Hammer, his left side of his carcass is that red. It looks like it's been barbecued.
Look at big Rob Fogarty. He's loving it. He's loving the knee action, Robbie Fogarty.
20 knees in one exchange.
It was Kaota Puna's great impersonation of a knee bag, a teardrop bag. Look at that, just wearing a shot to the top of the head, Hoopman, and then stalking forward. Little bit of an opening there, Puna finding. Trying to get the uppercut in the clinch, but not ever going to have enough leverage to do any damage. Hoopman, big left hook, ties up, and here we go, knee fest. Knee fest from Hoopman.
He took more shots than an alcoholic. 20 knees from Thor Hoopman. Hammer, I can't remember a time we have counted off 20 knees in a fight, in a clinch.
Tell you what, not seen knees hitting a floor that much in bar 20.
Oh, we are ready to roll. 5th and final round of our main event of Knees of Fury 24. It is all now for Kaota Puna to do, because we've got 4 ahead after that scoring rampage in the penultimate round.
Speaking of penultimate round, a big hello to Perry Cale, who just loves saying the penultimate round.
the
One
bugle.
of the big time ring announcers.
He's gone big time, Hammer.
He's gone big time. He's gone Hollywood on us, Perry Cale, since the Linear Contender final.
Knee to the midsection from Thor Hoopman.
Again, he goes back to work with the knee strike, just locking down and banging away at the body of Puna.
I love it. Puna is getting pwned here in centre ring.
Showing a lot of heart. Yet again, every time a Kiwi steps in the centre ring, you know you're going to be in for a fight. They do not get away easily.
I mean, we've seen the upper echelon of Kiwi fighters, Hammer. You know, Ray Sefo, Mark Hunt. Guys that have taken almost inhuman punishment in the ring and fought back.
Clay Amatangi.
Clay Amatangi.
Clay Amatangi, big hello to Clay. Absolutely warrior, award in centre ring whenever he stepped through the ropes.
He had a cameo, Hammer, in Summer Heights High, Clay.
Did he really?
Did you ever see it? I'll give it to you.
Did see a couple
Let's
of
watch
the boys
Clay.
stepping in.
He was with us last time at the K1 Grand Prix, supporting Ray Sefo when Ray defeated the 7'2" giant Hongman Choi last time out.
Clay currently training up a new breed of tough fighters.
Moishigeri, you can tell the karate background of Kaota Puna from his round kicks.
But dropping his hands dangerously low. He holds his hands at chest height, and that's just begging for a right hand. Thor Hoopman instead intent on going in and just locking up the big points with the knee strikes.
Final stages of the fifth and final round, Superman Punch.
Just hoping for something to land now is the Kiwi, but Hoopman sticking to the job, sticking to the plan at hand, not taking any risks whatsoever.
The hands around the waists here of Kaota Puna. Rolling heel kick. Won't work for him, it was telegraphed. Putting on a show, certainly. Trying to give the audience their money's worth here in what has been a slow main event, though I must say the fourth round was entertaining. This round is pretty good too.
Trying again for that rolling kick. Puna in the last round. He knows he's way behind, looking for something to showcase. So rolling through with a heel kick, showing he can still be flashy, even though he's been well dominated in this 5-round war.
More rolls in my local bread shop, Hammer.
Jumping round kick.
There it is.
There he goes, Puna. Takes
Great
it down.
mark of respect there from Kaota Puna.
Good lads, the Kiwis. Always put on a show, but that was no match tonight for the God of Thunder, Thor Hoopman,
With
in the
this,
Boonchu gym.
Thor should take his record to 17 wins in 21 fights. Puna will incur the third loss of his career. And never a doubt about it, Thor Hoopman winner by unanimous decision. Look at the mark of respect once again from Kaota Puna for one of the real rising stars of Aussie Muay Thai.
Thanks very much for coming down from Queensland and fighting on the knees of Fury Gambus. But as I am to understand, you're an Adelaide boy, is that right?
Yeah, I was born in Adelaide, so yeah, I'm originally an Adelaide boy. Thanks for having me here, thanks to Ethan, it was a great show. My family for coming, all my friends and everyone for coming to the show, it's been great, thank you. And the big fella, he's tough as, it was a good fight, so big thanks to him.
Sensational fight, fans, let's hear it for Thor Hoopman!